Before I get into this video, guys, I just want to warn you guys that obviously I'm a big Wolves fan. The Timberwolves lost, so I had my buddy on. We talked about it for like the first 8 or 9 minutes or something. I don't know the exact time, but guys, make sure to use the time codes in the description if you guys came here for the picks and the game breakdowns, because like I said, we did spend the first like 10 minutes damn near talking about the Wolves. So if you don't care for that, use the time codes in the description. And also, guys, make sure to drop a like and sub the channel. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. Y'all have been absolutely killing it. Y'all have been giving me too much love for the performance I've been putting forth in the betting standpoint, but just letting you guys know it does not go unseen, and just keep it coming, man. Like, it is just so greatly appreciated, and thank you guys, every single one of you guys, for tuning in and liking and subscribing. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Straight Betting. Man, it's such a weird way to start this video, but I do not want to be recording right now. I got to be. It's right after the Wolves game. We just lost by 40. I just went 0-3 on props, guys. Full transparency, I'm down. I was up like 105 units or something in the regular season. I'm like down 2 units, I think, now in the postseason. So I don't even know why y'all are tuned in. Like, I've been feeding y'all straight cake, and to counteract that, I have my boy Sammy G props with me on the show, hopefully to bring us some winners, because I have not been doing my job. So we need someone to do a job around here. And yeah, Sammy, how we doing today?
I'm doing good. Feels good to be on. I know I'm doing better than you right now after that Wolves game. RIP to the 24-25 Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah,
How do you fix this team? First step, if you're the GM.
I love Julius Randle. I think he was awesome for us this year. I think he gets so much hate, um, but I just don't think he could be a part of a team that takes down OKC, especially as a second option. I also don't think Rudy Gobert is a championship center. Naz Reid might not be a championship level defender. Mike Conley's too old to play starting point guard. I really want us to get a point guard, man. I know we have Rob on the bench, but let's be real, Rob's not going to be ready to hoop. And guys, by the way, sorry for this little yap session. We're going to yap for a little bit. I'll put time codes down below in the description if you guys are just here for the picks, okay? So don't leave the video. Just use the time codes. I want to get a point guard. I want us to go all in, get a point guard. A point guard would elevate Ant. A point guard with gravity would elevate Ant. It would elevate Dante. It would elevate Nikhil, who's a free agent. I don't even know if we're gonna have him back next year, but we just have a ton of players that are really good. Like, honestly, this team was super talented. And one thing too, man, is that this team salary dumped Cat in the offseason, and we still made the Western Conference Finals. You can say, like, okay, like, you beat the Warriors without Steph, and that's totally fair. We also killed the Lakers in a series that we were heavy underdogs in. I'm proud of this team, but I think we really do need a point guard, and I think our front court isn't championship level to beat OKC, because OKC is going to be a dynasty whether you like it or not. It's just the facts, unless Shea has a serious injury. So yeah, definitely I think bring in some point guard play to help Ant and help the Dantes, Nikhils, Jadens of the world. I think that's the thing, and we got to switch up the front court, man. I just don't think it's good enough to win a chip.
Yeah, that OKC team is just an absolute nightmare, especially if you don't have like a lot of guys that can play make. Like it was just so much Ant, and when that OKC defense could settle in on one guy, you're just completely toast. They're just way too aggressive.
Yeah, well, I mean, whatever. Like, the team has to be built to beat OKC. It just has to be. It's probably a really good time to like rebuild. If you're a fringe team in the West, like, genuinely, it's probably a great time to rebuild. So yeah, man, I just want to see like someone who has gravity at the point guard position. Like, Mike's great. I love Mike. He turned this franchise around. The Gobert trade was an absolute disaster until we did the Mike and Nikhil trade for D'Lo. By the way, all-time fleece Loki. Looking back at that, um, love Mike Conley, and I want him. He still has another year in the contract. I really hope he doesn't retire, but I hope he goes to a backup point guard. And we maybe make a trade for. I've been thinking about LaMelo. I'm not gonna lie. He's probably a nice buy low right now. He's a super talented player that has like a losing player tag to him, and which I think is actually fair. But he's one of those guys that he'll play defense on a winning team. He'll you know make smarter plays on a winning team. He won't take as many dumb shots on a winning team, and he has all the talent in the world. And he's on Ant's timeline. I wonder what the asking price is for LaMelo, man, because he's someone that I've been thinking about, ever since we went down 2-0. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of weird like that, man. Like whenever my team isn't looking good, I just instantly go to trades, and that's probably why I'm not a that's why I'm not a GM. But yeah, Sammy, what do you think about that fit, or what do you think about
I mean,
Wolf?
in theory, LaMelo and Ant would be an awesome backcourt. Like that would be so sick. But I really say like LaMelo's price is down. Like, and it is his stock's down a little bit, but I don't think Charlotte's lining up to dump him when they already lack talent severely. And like, are they just going to reset and do another rebuild that they've been doing for 10 years already? I'm going to trade away their one like star piece. I think it would be tough unless they get a massive package or unless he legit tells them, yeah, there's zero chance I'm re-signing with you when I hit free agency, and that's still a couple years away. So I think it would take a massive package to get him, but in theory, I like it.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing I'm thinking about is that LaMelo, he just has like ankle issues, right? And I think I'm more thinking about the buy low because of injury, right? And which is like scary, like because is LaMelo even seen as a positive contract really, like that much? It probably is because of his age and his talent, but like people talk about like salary dumping Zion. Like is LaMelo's kind of hurt as much as him, so that's just kind of what my thought process is, that like the asking price won't be huge, and I just don't know, like, by the time LaMelo's gonna be on his next contract, like you said, it is in a little bit, but, like, this Hornets team just has, like, no chance of, like, doing anything over the next, like, 3 or 4 years, in my opinion. So, I wonder if they would be willing to move off of him, but
Yeah, I mean it's tough. Like at the basketball wise, they could move on from him. Like he's not like the most efficient player, but like also like he's probably the only reason anyone goes to a Hornets game. Like I know it's not getting you much, getting you anywhere having him as your number one option and being like a play in or like a lottery team every year, but he does sell tickets and like a ton of younger fans like love LaMelo. He's probably the only reason people even know Charlotte exists, and like that is a factor that plays in. So if they are willing to dump LaMelo for cheap, I think they'd either be really dumb or they'd have some insight into his injuries that that probably frightens them a lot more than what the public sees, because they have all that info more than any other team. So I'd be raising red flags if they dump him for cheap.
yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I live in Charlotte, right? And every time I talk about people, the Hornets and people, they all love LaMelo, right? Like they don't want to let him go. So obviously they're not the GMs. But yeah, I might have to talk my shit to my fellow Charlotte people if we somehow pull that off. But
Yeah,
all
I
right,
mean,
enough yapping, man. We're about 8 minutes in. The people came for a best bet show, and Sammy, that's what we're gonna deliver. Um, I'll go first. Captain New York. Jalen Brunson is not going down like a little punk in game 5 at the Garden. Jalen Brunson over 36.5 PA. Look, Pacers will mix in a lot of single coverage. They also will, they were throwing some, doubles at him in the fourth quarter. I don't know if that's a fourth quarter specific thing because he is just a guy that is absolutely lethal in the fourth quarter. Did have 15 potential assists, did have 31 points last game, only 5 assists. I'd like to think that the role players shoot better around him. I'm just not going to overthink this one, Sammy, man. In games 1 and 2, like they're up 3-1. They're up 3-1 by allowing Jalen Brunson to have some pretty massive games. 1 and 2 games in the Garden, Jalen Brunson had 36 just points. Let's see, PA in the Garden, 48 and 47. And literally just in real time, this line just moved on FanDuel, which is crazy. 37.5 is completely fine, guys, for the PA, or 30.5 points, whatever you want to go with. I just love that it's in the Garden. Jalen Brunson, I just trust. I do trust him to have a big game. Cat's on the injury report with a knee thing. He was not moving good at the end of the game. If Cat's cooked, he might not, have a big scoring night. And yeah, man, I truly just like trust Jalen Brunson in a spot like this to deliver, and I love that it's at home because obviously we could be like, you can make the Ant thing from tonight, like, oh, like Ant in an elimination game, he's gonna go off, he's gonna empty the clip, and I was kind of saying that stuff, and but I obviously wasn't like saying to play the over. But yeah, the Knicks just aren't going to get blown out in the Garden. Like they're clearly the inferior team here, man. But like I just don't see a world where they get blown out in the Garden. So I actually think the Knicks win. It would be kind of crazy if Knicks go 0-3 in MSG in the conference finals. So yeah, man, Sammy, I really like Jalen Brunson. I trust him to show up. I trust him to get enough single coverage. I know we talked about this before, how the fourth quarter coverage was real. But that's why I'm throwing an assist too because I just trust Jalen Brunson to be great. I'm sure he's going to get a pretty good whistle here down 3-1 at the Garden. So that's always another solid thing. Neesmith looks a little bit, who's done a really good job on Brunson. Neesmith, his ankle, he didn't look great moving around last game. So yeah, it's kind of all my thoughts here, Sammy. What do you have on JB?
No, I like it a lot. I played his points last game. Yeah, the single coverage is just perfect for him. Like you said, Cat's banged up. His usage, they're staggered. Those two on defense are so bad that they have to stagger him as much as possible. So when Cat's off the floor, Brunson's usage is like through the roof. Yeah, one worry is they did trap him pretty hard in the fourth quarter of their last game. So I do like the idea of adding assists here. Just as like a little bit of a hedge in case the defense is a little different. Um, but I think, yeah, the main point that you brought up is the Neesmith injury. Like he started off super hot last game, but then he looked like he was laboring a bit in the second half. So if he's limited at all, he's questionable right now, but I assume he's good to go. But if for some reason he can't suit up, I think Brunson, this is a smash. Like, listen to this. With Neesmith off the court this series, Brunson is averaging 52 points per 36. So if he's hobbled at all, like I'm 100% playing this if Neesmith's out or if there's like any minutes restriction or something with him. But regardless, I think it's a solid play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Captain of New York, Jalen Brunson just shows up, big game over and over again. As long as we get a competitive game, like I said, I don't think Knicks are good enough to blow out the Pacers personally, unless the Pacers just absolutely shit the bed. So yeah, really think that this game's going to be hyper competitive. Knicks pull it out, so that just reeks of a Jalen Brunson 35 point, 8 assist game or something like that. So that's what we're shooting for. All right, Sammy. I know you have a prop and this one moved, but we can definitely find a juicer for it. But I want you to bless the people real quick with a half
Yeah,
prop.
yeah. So my one play for this game is I took Cat over 1.5 assists. It's pretty juiced now, but yeah, you could dejuice it, or I think 13.5 RA is a solid pivot. But basically, like I brought up, Brunson and Cat together are just like abysmal defensively, especially in this matchup. Like Hallie's just been cooking them in the pick and roll. So they've been staggering him a lot more than usual. So Cat's getting extended run without Brunson, and then after that massive what was that game 3 that Cat had. So when Brunson's off, the Pacers double are sending doubles at Cat whenever he puts the ball on the floor. So with those doubles, that's increasing his passes. He had 30 passes last game, 4 potential assists. With 30 to 40 passes at home this year, he's over in 17 of 2. I think that's right. Hold on, I am right at them target. But yeah. So I just think they're like when Brunson's off the floor, you clearly want to stop Cat. Like he's the only one that could really hurt you in like one-on-one situations without Brunson. So forcing the ball out of his hands makes a lot of sense. And this line is, I mean, a 1.5 line for a guy with high usage and a must-win spot. I think it's very doable.
Yeah. Yeah, like I did notice that too with the doubles. I don't know what the Pacers are doing defensively on Cat. With guarding him with Miles Turner when Josh Hart's on the court. I just think it's just so stupid. Like I know that they're like winning the games like in spite of this, but it makes no sense to guard Cat with a center. Like with and then you still got to like throw doubles. It just makes no sense to guard center or cat with centers, man, in my opinion. So that's kind of my thoughts on cat. But yeah, I did notice that too with the doubles. Passes made were up for sure. 4 potential assists, 3 assists, but a lot of those big men, handoffs and stuff never will get registered and stuff. So yeah, I asked him for 2 assists for the big per. I like that. And let's quick find a juicer. Sammy, do you have anything else that you were kind of like, leaning towards a little bit in this game? Or what about Brunson? Brunson 25 plus?
Yeah, like Brunson 25 plus or like Hallie 15 plus.
Yeah,
Hallie ran a season high pick and rolls frequency last game. So like they clearly just want to get Hallie downhill versus like Brunson or Cat in these pick and rolls. Like his volume is gonna be insane again, I would assume. So maybe like Brunson, Hallie like maybe 7 or 8 assists or 15 points would be solid. Something like that.
for sure. All right, let's get into the rest of the games. But before we do so, Sammy, I got a quick question for you.
What's up?
How important is getting the best price in market all the time? And like, what will that look like in the long term when you're getting the best price in market constantly?
It's important.
Why is it important?
Um, it literally just saves you money. Like, why would you want the best price anytime you shop
Yeah,
for anything?
all right. Great plug, great plug. So I'm going to take a quick shout out, quick break. Shout out Novig. It's a peer-to-peer sweepstake app that will indeed have the best price in lines a lot of the time, due to it, of course, being peer-to-peer and minimal house edge. So yeah, guys, level up is better. Get the best numbers, like Sammy said. It'll end up helping you a ton in the long run. Why would you buy bananas for $5 when you could get them for $2 at another store, right? So it's just little stuff like that when you think about it. I have a link for Novig down below in the description. Make sure you use code BETTIN, BETTIN, when you're making your first deposit. They'll give you a 50% deposit match up to $25, so do not leave that on the table. Like I said, link below in the description, and use code BETTIN, BETTIN, when you're making that first deposit. All right, sweet. Moving on to this. So, Sammy, I got to be honest with you. I really like Cat under points and rebounds at 33.5. And I agree completely with what you said about Cat and Brunson. I just think that with potential adjustments coming to Cat with the doubles that we saw, with just like it being such an obvious adjustment because Josh has been playing big minutes, I think that Josh might go back to starting, right? Just given that they lost the game and Mitch hasn't played in the fourth quarter of any of the 2 games, anyways. I could see shit minutes for Cat, whether it's poor play with the knee, whether it's him and Brunson being unplayable together, but Captain New York's like having himself a game because I think that's gonna happen. Whether it's the adjustment, I talked about this last video and that didn't happen, but whether it's like actually cross matching and playing to your strengths. Like we said, the doubles. I don't know. I just think that Cat, it's risky, right? Because if he gets guarded by Turner and if the knees like he's moving fine with it, right? Then it's like, okay, well, you could easily make a case for him having a pretty good offensive game, whether it's scoring, assisting the ball, and stuff. If he's getting guarded by Turner, and in fact, if he gets guarded by Turner in that first possession, I'd declare the bet a loser probably. But yeah, what do you think about Cat under 33.5 points and rebounds? Obviously, you're on the assist, and I don't think the assist needs a ton of minutes to get there personally. But what do you think about Cat's minutes here and his PR at 33.5?
Um, I would like the under PR a lot more if Mitch Rob doesn't start. Because when Mitch Rob starts, he's just like he's on Siakam weak side, and Mitch Rob's just doing like all the boxing out, and he's just getting hella weak side boards. And I think his rebounding rate goes up. I think he's averaging like 14.5 per 36 with Mitch Rob on the court this postseason. But if they do, so maybe take rebounds out unless Mitch Rob's off the bench. If Mitch Rob's off the bench, I could get there on PR. If
That's a
if
really
Mitch
good
Rob
point.
does start, I would maybe just go points, but I do see the vision if they're honing in on him a little bit more.
That makes that's a really good point. And I feel like Mitch Rob and Cat just like playing together so much like really increases Cat's minute ceiling or minute floor, because it's like I don't know. They just start the game off playing together, and usually they're like staggering all the time. But then like Mitch sits for like a long time and never plays a fourth. But I actually think that, like, and Cat too, like, defensively, bro, like, he's already been god awful, and now with this knee issue, he can't even move. He can't jump as high to contest shots. Mitch Rob playing big minutes just, like, at the 5 and having Cat on the bench, I think, like, if his offense is ineffective, like, I think that makes a ton of sense. So, yeah,
Do we
that's
think
a good
there
point. What's up?
do we think there's any chance Cat doesn't play here? Like, he's technically questionable, but, like, do we think there's any chance he doesn't suit up?
No, he's playing. An elimination game, he's
Yeah,
playing. I
that's
mean,
what I
I
would
guess there's a chance. What would you look for if, Cat didn't play? Mitch Rob, like, rebounds just, like, at any
Yeah,
number?
so, yeah, Mitch Rob's minutes floor gets a lot higher, like, he only played 19 last game, but, like, I don't see a world he plays under 25 if Cat's out. Brunson will get a usage increase for sure.
Rebounds. Hart will
Yeah, Hart rebounds, and then maybe, like, additional minutes for some of the bench guys like McBride or Wright or Shamit.
yeah. Okay, cool, yeah, no, I agree completely. Yeah, Mitch Rob just really does box out on defense and, like, lets Josh or Cat just, like, grab every single rebound. But then Mitch just goes I think Mitch would seriously play, like, 40 minutes without if, like, you say he didn't get into foul trouble, if Cat was out, like, I think he would play, like, a ridiculous amount of minutes just because Tibbs always needs a center on the damn court, and, I don't think they really trust Precious much at this point. Do you have any other thoughts? I know we touched on Cat and Brunson. What about, like, I've been so iffy on OG, McCall, and Josh all series, and,
Yeah. Yeah, I have too. I haven't even really looked into them just because it's not, like, a great series for them. Because 'cause they're just playing one-on-one with Brunson, so Brunson's one-on-one, he's gonna cook, and, like, these guys kinda need Brunson or Cat to play make for them for the most part. But if they do trap like Mikhail cooked that 4th quarter last game with when they started trapping Brunson, so that could be like a good how many yeah, Mikhail had 9 in the 4th. So that could be a good live bet angle. Like if you see like they're high trapping Brunson like super hard right from the bat, maybe live bet Mikhail points. I think that could be a solid look. But I can't trust any of them without seeing a major scheme adjustment first, to be honest.
agreed, agreed. Yeah, I don't really have much thoughts, man. I don't know if how much these Shamits and Wrights are gonna play. I know they have, like, lines at Caesars and 365 and all those books. Like I said, honestly, I okay, I might play a Mitch over if he comes off the bench with, like, a, with, like, a that gets factored into the line too much. Because I think that him coming off the bench, he'll play, like, very similar minutes, honestly. Like, he'll obviously get some minutes with Cat on the court too, and, like I said, I'm just kind of iffy on where Cat's at, and I just think the minutes are gonna go better with Mitch on the court, and Mitch and Brunson, and then Cat off, and I think that could lead to Tibbs, like, playing him more, obviously, so, yeah, Mitch stuff is interesting, especially rebounds. I just wanna wait to see if he's coming off the bench first, and then I wanna buy low once that happens. Alright, Pacers side of things,
Yeah, now
you hit the nail on it. Oh, sorry, what were you gonna say?
no, I was just agreeing. You're good.
Okay. Yeah, I think you absolutely nailed the Pacers side of things, man. Just gonna spam Hallie pick and rolls over and over again. Like I said, Cat's gonna be unbelievably atrocious on defense. So is Brunson. I guess they always are, but I think it's even gonna be magnified even more with Cat. Whatever they can do, they're gonna generate good offense. I don't know what the correct answer is. I would probably want to see Halliburton be a scorer personally, make him drop 32 again. But he's just gonna have his way, man. I think it's yeah, like I said, I think I'd probably switch, but then he's gonna, break them down off the dribble and find someone open, once they overhelp and stuff. Halliburton's just such a mismatch with what they currently have to offer. But what if Cat gets ruled out, I might actually look towards like a sell high spot on Hallie. Because I think it just like obviously he'll be trying to hunt Brunson and stuff, but just the difference between Robinson playing big minutes and then Cat not playing at all, I think it's gonna make that defense so much better. And, just like Pacers unders in general are gonna have a shit ton of value if Cat somehow did get ruled out. But yeah, like assuming Cat's in and he's hobbled, Hallie spam, pick and roll, pick and roll, pick and roll. He is a pretty inconsistent player. I will say that. Like he'll have these games where he randomly just shoots the ball 10 times, like for no reason. I don't think that's gonna happen. That wouldn't make any sense to happen. But yeah, uh,
His ball has been pretty consistent this series. 15 field goal attempts in every game so far. So I think they're pretty set on how they want to attack this defense, and they're up 3-1. So I don't see why they would change any of that.
yeah.
To be honest,
Do the Knicks have any adjustments to make?
I don't even know like what they could do because it's not like you could like you could bench Cat and Brunson because they're like the whole issue with the defense, but those are like their two main guys. So it's like he could Tibbs could tinker with like the supporting cast all he wants, but if Brunson and Cat are playing, like it's pretty clear the Pacers are going to target them. So I'm not even sure what the fix is here.
I don't think there is a fix. I think they're just cooked. Kind of like the Wolves, right? They're just not the better team. Um, yeah, man. Sammy, is there any other like role player guys that are like interesting to you at all? Like, obviously the Neesmith wrinkle, like if Neesmith somehow, got worse, which, kind of like looked like he did. Like Benedict Mathurin had a game of his life, scoring 20 points in 13 minutes. That's just like kind of you got 11 free throws in 13 minutes, which is absolutely crazy. Um, I just think he's a
Yeah.
wild card.
Yeah, I mean, he played the game of his life. What you yeah, 5 of 8 from the floor, 10 of 11 from the free throw line. He still only played 13 minutes. So it's like, I don't know how you can trust him.
You
Um,
can't.
if Nissa's out, I actually like Ben Shepherd. I think like he's the direct beneficiary in terms of minutes, but I can't trust this guy unless Neesmith's ruled out.
I
But
actually think Ben Shepherd would have a big game because I agree with you completely. He's the trusted guy. He's the guy who's needed for defense, and Brunson's gonna guard him. So he's just gonna be used as a screener like a million times. They'll botch it every now and then and like leave him open or some shit. Um,
yeah,
if
I
Ben
mean, yeah,
Shepherd, yeah. Oh, sorry, you go.
like his minutes floor seems pretty safe at like 12 or 13 lately. So like 12 to 18 minutes, his hit rates are pretty solid. And if you think Neesmith's out, there's any chance Neesmith doesn't play, like there's definitely value here. And yes, if there is one guy on this Pacers team you leave open, it would probably be Ben Shepherd.
Yeah,
But yeah, he's just a hard guy to trust since he's just so low usage, but
he's zero usage.
be decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally zero.
Yeah, so like I said, Cat's gonna guard he was guarding Siakam. Siakam, I think, was used like in actions a ton and obviously had a great game because of that. Um Siakam first quarter points could make sense. 4.5 if you see he had 11 points last first quarter. If Mitch starts alongside Cat again, I think Siakam makes a fair bit of sense to like first quarter, just ensure that he's getting guarded by Cat. And I just hope Pascal, puts the ball in the hole because it's definitely a matchup he can indeed exploit. Um, Turner, I'm surprised Turner's volume has been so low in this series. Honestly, I maybe it's like the Mitch thing. If he, oh Turner makes sense too. If Mitch gets benched for Hart, they go back to the original starting five, and you can lock in Cat guarding Turner. I would 100% go to Turner 14.5.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot actually. But that's only if Mitch gets benched. But yes. Unless they randomly put Hart on Turner and then you could hide and now I guess that won't work. Then you just keep Cat on Stockholm who just got cooked. Yeah, I guess that won't work. They would have to put Cat on Turner.
Yeah, and if
No,
sorry, but we keep on
there
doing
you
this
go.
shit.
Yeah.
You go.
No, you're good.
Okay. Miles Turner cannot rebound for shit. But I want to buy low on his rebounds eventually. Live, it would have to be live. Um, if you ever see, so if they go back to the OG starting lineup, I think Turner makes sense to buy low on his rebounds because you'd have to think they sprinkle in a little bit of Turner on Hart if they do go back to the like, even, like, if it's not the entire game. You'd think they sprinkle it in a little bit, but also just Cat. Mitch is like the worst rebounding matchup for a center. Miles Turner, this dude is not even trying to get a rebound. All he's trying to do is box him out, like, literally. Um, so yeah, Miles Turner, I think, could be a decent buy. Maybe like first quarter rebounds at 1.5 plus 140. You tell me Miles Turner can't get 2 damn rebounds in the first quarter. But yeah, there's probably the smart way to probably go about this is live, right? Like, if you do see him guarding Hart, I mean, this is just like the ultimate buy low spot, right? And if you could guarantee
Yeah.
that he got Hart, this line I'd probably play this line at 6.5 for like minus 130 over. And yeah, it's 5.5 plus 122. So keep an eye out on that for live. But what's your thoughts on that?
No, I like it. Like I was honestly, because you brought up maybe Mitch Rob gets benched. I was like, oh, maybe we could like fade Turner rebounds if he's covering Cat now. And then the fact that it's 5.5 is just like that was bonkers to me. Like this line's consistently like 7.5 all season, and he's still playing 30 minutes a game. So it's just like, yeah, there comes a point where the line just gets too low regardless of matchup. So I definitely see the vision there.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely a better live spot.
One of these games, the 7-footer is going to be able to grab 6 boards in 33 minutes. So
You would think.
yeah, Halliburton too, man. Halliburton's at 4.5 rebounds, pretty juiced, but he did have 12 rebounds, and what they've been doing is putting him on Josh, right? So he's just kind of, I mean, obviously Josh is trying for rebounds and stuff, but inevitably Hallie's gonna get some weak side rebounds by just guarding Josh Hart. So that came to fruition. He's been great on the glass all series, to be honest. I guess the misses he had 4, but the chances have been pretty good. He's averaging 7 now after that. So any like Nemhard, McConnell, Toppin thoughts?
I think Nemhard could be a decent buy low. Like he's still gonna get good minutes. He's taken 9 shots the last 2 games. He just can't make a thing.
Yeah.
Um, that would be my favorite out of those. Um, yeah, it's just will he make shots for once? Is
Yeah.
really the main question. But he just seems low. The others are about in line with where they've been at in terms of lines.
Certified playoff riser Andrew Nemhard. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, not the last.
Yeah, not the last couple of games, but he definitely has, really good moments in playoffs. So yeah, I tend to agree with that too. It's definitely a good buy low. That's just the art of it in the playoffs. Sometimes it's just like, yeah, this dude had a stinker. I think he can take advantage of this matchup. And yeah, it happens. But now the line's low and all that good stuff. So yeah, I think that Nemhard stuff is interesting. But in the back of my head, I'm like, why would they just take the ball out of Halliburton's hands when he's just getting whatever he wants? So all right,
Exactly.
I think it's. Oh, sorry. Well, we did it again, man. I think there might be like a little bit delay going on or something, but
Probably, but yeah, I was just agreeing with you. Nemhard, I probably would play unless it's a live bet and you see them like literally going all out to stop Halliburton, which they haven't really shown they can do yet. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, you see Hallie get blitz that first pick and roll rep. Nemhard is gonna soar over by attacking closeouts, catch and shoot threes, just putting the ball in his hands because they won't blitz him. So yeah, that's actually a great another live angle because Halliburton did kill them, and it is a playoff, so you do tend to adjust after getting killed by a specific player. So if that's in the cards. We're just pretty much a live bet and angle show at this point. But yeah, no, I think that that's actually like an amazing way to play it for sure. So I might write stuff down and like be ready to fire on it. Probably be smart. All right, that's gonna do it, guys. Make sure to give Sammy a Twitter follow on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, at Sammy G Props. And Sammy, do you got anything else to say before we dip on out of here?
nope. Yeah, thanks for having me on. Great breaking down the games as usual.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, my guy. All right, rip Timberwolves, and your boys are gonna go to bed sad tonight. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next time.